Before the first footprints marked this land, the world was locked in ice of vast silence where only wind and memory spoke. The people who would become the first Americans were not, yet a nation, only wanderers chasing warmth across a frozen horizon. They carried no maps, no borders, only fire, hunger, and faith that somewhere beyond the snow the earth was waiting. In the shelter of ice caves, they told stories to keep fear away, their words echoing through centuries of frozen time. They followed the herds through blinding storms where every step meant survival and every breath was a promise to endure. The rivers beneath the ice led them forward across lands no one had ever named, following stars older than memory. The wind carried their voices, their songs, and their hopes into the heart of a continent still asleep beneath the cold. And when the ice spoke, it called them south toward life, toward discovery, toward the beginning of America's oldest story. Between two worlds, a bridge of ice appeared, a frozen highway carrying the first travelers toward a continent no human had ever seen before. Families moved slowly across the endless white, trusting winter to hold beneath their feet as they searched for food, shelter, and a future. Every gust of wind carved their path, shaping memories into snow, each step marking the courage of people driven by hope. They followed the mammoths whose steady march guided them across storms, hunger, and the vast silence that stretched between horizons. At night, fire was their heartbeat, glowing bright against the cold, reminding them that even in darkness they were never alone. Behind them, footprints formed a frozen story, a record of the brave souls who crossed the threshold of a new world. Above them, the sky danced in colors, ancient lights guiding their journey, as if the heavens blessed their crossing. And when dawn rose, they stepped onto new ground, beginning a chapter of humanity that would shape the first peoples of the Americas. When they stepped onto new ground, they entered a world untouched by human footsteps, a white silence waiting to reveal its secrets. The first hunter felt the earth beneath the snow, realizing this frozen land would one day hold the stories of countless generations. Great forests rose around them, ancient and silent, their frozen branches guarding a continent still asleep beneath winter. Rivers carved silver lines through the ice, leading them forward like veins of a living world welcoming its first people. They followed animal tracks, signs of life hidden in the cold, teaching them how to survive this mysterious new land. Together they built shelters warmed by fire and determination, families forming the first roots of a home far from their past. Even in the deep cold, children laughed, their voices carrying the promise that life could grow even in winter. From above, they were only small shadows in endless white, yet they carried the spark that would shape an entire hemisphere. Leaving the frozen bridge behind, they followed narrow trails south, searching for places where winter loosened its grip on the land. Deep forests swallowed them in silence, each tree holding stories older than humanity itself, guiding them through unfamiliar cold. Frozen rivers became their pathways, leading them toward gentler valleys and the promise of new life beyond the ice. Every step south carried them deeper into mystery mountains, fading behind them as forests grew thicker and wilder. They followed the herds that roamed ahead, trusting the instincts of animals that knew where survival waited. Crossing gorges and cliffs, they moved with courage, families bound together by fire, hope, and ancient determination. At night, flames lifted spirits as sparks danced into the winter sky, reminding them they were not alone in the vast wild. When dawn rose, they saw a path stretching forward, a sign that their journey had only just begun in this new continent. Farther south, the land remained frozen, but full of life, herds roaming through white valleys offering the first Americans a path to survival. Ancient bison became guides across this new world, their movements teaching hunters where the land gave food and where danger waited. In silence, the hunters surrounded their quarry, every breath measured, every heartbeat steady against the cold. The charge thundered across the snow, reminding them that nature granted survival only to those who respected its power. Every hunt ended not in triumph, but in gratitude, a shared understanding between people, animals, and the frozen earth. Around the fire, families strengthened their bond, turning cold nights into moments of warmth, memory, and resilience. From bone and stone, they shaped blades, spears, and tools, each one a symbol of ingenuity in a harsh, unyielding world. Watching herds move across the valleys, they knew the journey would continue, guided by the rhythm of winter and the promise of tomorrow. As winter deepened, they sought valleys where cliffs softened the winds, offering places to rest, rebuild, and gather strength. With branches, hides, and snow, they crafted shelters that held warmth, turning frozen emptiness into a fragile sanctuary. Thin smoke curled upward through roof openings, carrying prayers and stories into the pale winter sky. Inside the glow of fire, families found comfort, sharing food, hope, and memories of distant homelands left behind. Children learned skills essential for survival, shaping tools that would one day guide entire generations across the continent. Outside, hunters reinforced their walls, knowing that winter demanded preparation, wisdom, and unity to endure its long nights. Across the silent darkness, fires whispered life, reminding them that warmth could still exist at the heart of a frozen world. When dawn returned, they rose to a new day, their winter village standing strong, a testament to resilience and new beginnings. As winter loosened its hold, small signs began to appear, revealing a world slowly waking beneath the ice. Cracking rivers whispered change, promising water, warmth, and the first pathways to a gentler land beyond the cold. A single bird's cry broke the silence, carrying hope in wings that knew where new life waited. Fresh tracks told stories of creatures unseen before, drawing hunters forward into a land richer than they imagined. Tiny shoots pushed through melting snow, fragile symbols that the earth was ready to welcome them. Families watched fish beneath thinning ice, realizing this new world offered food, shelter, and possibility. As the sky glowed warmer, each evening they felt the breath of seasons shifting, guiding them toward a future. For the first time, they sensed belonging, understanding that this land could become not just shelter but home. When the first spring warmed the land, their long winter journey reached its end, and a new beginning quietly unfolded. They built camps near rivers where birds returned, carrying life into a world ready to be claimed. Across open plains, they found abundance, herds moving freely, promising the strength to grow, settle, and thrive. Children touched new forests, awakening with sunlight, discovering a land that would shape their destiny. Around the fire, elders spoke of survival, courage, and faith, reminding their people how far they had come. With new tools, they learned the language of the land, adapting to forests, coasts, and rivers, each day becoming more rooted. As they spread across vast horizons, they became the ancestors of countless nations that would rise for thousands of years. From ice and endurance, they forged identity and future, and in this land, they became the first Americans.